Okay, good day. So, start natin yung refresher for fluid mechanics and hydraulics. So, let's have item 1, 2, 3, situational problem. This is CE November 2021. So, sabi niya dito, in order to determine the volume and specific gravity of a stone that weighs 45 kilograms in air, the engineer observed that when submerged in fresh water, the stone weighs 30 kilograms. So, kung i-recall natin, again, this is case number 2 before. Ayan, ano yung case number 2 natin? So, the usual is nagbibigay siya ng weight in air. Yung object natin, meron siyang weight in air. And then, magbibigay rin siya ng weight submerged. So, basically, yung object ay lulubog dun sa ating liquid. So, based sa given, we have yung mass, yun sabi niya dito, the weighs 45 kilograms in air is the actual mass. The actual mass is equal to 45 kilograms. So, paano natin i-compute yung actual weight? The actual weight is actually the weight in air. So, that is simply equal to 45 kilograms times the 9.81. So what is 45 kilograms times 9.81? We have 45 times the 9.81. So it's equal to, okay, so the weight in air of the object is equal to, ano ulit yun? Okay, 441.45. So 441.45 newtons. This is in terms of newtons. Tapos, okay, when submerged in fresh water, the stone weighs 30 kilograms. So, yun naman yung weight submerged natin. So, all we have to do is convert this one to newtons. So, the weight submerged is equal to, that is 30 kilograms multiplied by the 9.81. So, this should be equal to, so ano naman yung 30? Okay, so we have 30 times 9.81 is equal to 294.3 newtons. So 94.3 newtons. Again, if you are to recall case number 2 nung regular review, we have the weight in air and the weight submerged. So bakit mas magaan na siya kapag weight submerged? Dahil nababawasan yon, okay? Dahil dun sa ating buoyant force. So basically, ano yung ating equivalent equation? Ang equivalent equation dito is the weight in air minus the buoyant force. Ang result nito is simply the weight submerged. And kapag yung object natin ay fully submerged, basically, ang equivalent ng buoyant force is, gamma liquid, then the total volume of the object. Kasi it is fully submerged. Ayun, so we substitute, ano yung weight in air natin? This is equal to 441.45 newtons minus the buoyant force is equal to, weight submerged natin is 294.3 newtons. So, ito yung required sa item number 1. Buoyant force is equal to, so basically that is equal to 441.45 minus 294.3. So equal to, okay, so the magnitude of the buoyant force is equal to 147.15 newtons. So ito dapat yung sagot natin sa item number 1. Compute the buoyant force acting on the stone. So that should be letter B tayo doon. So yun lang naman si item number 1. Ano naman si item number 2? Item number 2 is determine the volume of the stone. So, okay, again, ito si item number 1. So, for item number 2, the volume of the stone, gamitin lang natin yung equation ng buoyant force. This is the buoyant force is equal to, again, fully submerged siya, unit weight of the liquid times the volume of the object. So, ano yung na-compute natin na buoyant force? We have 147.15 okay, 0.15 newtons. So, be aware lang tayo sa unit natin. So, anong gagamitin dapat natin na gamma liquid? Gamma liquid dapat the same unit. So, for water, that is 9,810 newtons per cubic meter. Then, multiplied by the volume of the object. So, ito kasi yung magiging volume ng object. So, that's 147.15 divided by 9,810 newtons. Newtons per cubic meter. So, we'll be having a volume of 0.015 cubic meter. So, do we have this one sa choices? Ayan, so for item number 2, okay, that will be letter C. So, 0.015 cubic meter. Then, last question sa first situational problem natin. Number 3 is calculate the specific gravity of the stone. So, pwede tayong gumamit ng density, pwede rin tayong gumamit ng unit weight. So, ang gagamitin ko is density. Yung mass in air is actually the mass actual. So, this is the mass of or the actual mass of the object, or sabi niyo dito, the stone. So, for item number 3, okay, gagamitin natin, the mass of the object is the mass in air. We have that as the 45 kilograms. So, paano ba tayo nagko-compute ng density? Density is simply equal to the mass of any object divided by its corresponding volume. So, the mass of the object is equal to 45 kilograms divided by yung computed volume niya, yun yung item number 2, which is equal to 0.015 cubic meter. So, this is the density of the stone. So, what is 45 divided by 0.015? That should be equal to 3,000. So, this is equal to 3,000, okay, basic units. We have kilograms per cubic meter. So, kung i-recall natin, paano tayo nagko-compute ng specific gravity? Pwedeng unit weight of the object divided by unit weight of water. Pwede rin naman density of object divided by the density of water. So, take note that dapat yung specific gravity is unitless. So, therefore, we have 3,000 kilograms per cubic meter. Ano dapat yung gagamitin natin na density of water? Dapat the same unit. That is the 1,000 kilograms per cubic meter. Para obviously, canceled yung units. So, I think this is very obvious. Yung specific gravity of the stone is equal to, okay, exactly equal to 3. Ayan, if you go back to the choices, okay, item number 3 natin is letter A. Ayan, so ganun lang kadali yung buoyancy problem way back November 2021. Okay, so tuloy natin sa item number 4. So this is board exam way back November 2021. Okay, so ang sabi niya dito, a pressure surge or wave caused by a fluid in motion is forced to stop at or change direction suddenly, momentum change, is referred to in hydraulics as ayun, ano kaya sa choices natin? We have A, hydraulic jump, critical flow, turbulent, and letter D, water hammer. So, example nito sa isang pipe, for example, bigla mong pinigilan yung flow. So, bigla nating hinarangan. So, ang effect nun, yung impact nun is magki-create siya ng yun. So, magi-stop yung flow or mag-change in direction. Other than that, magi-create yun ng sound wave. So, aalis yung sound wave and then mag-echo siya, babalik. So, paulit-ulit na mangyayari yun. So, back and forth siya. So, ang effect nun, parang nahahammer yung pinangharang natin dun sa flow ng tubig. So, the correct answer for this one is, okay, letter D, it should be the water hammer. Okay, so proceed tayo sa item number 5. A triangular gate of height 1.2 meters and a base of 0.90 meter is installed in a position inclined at 60 degrees with the horizontal, with its vertex at the top and the base is parallel to the water surface. The vertex is at a depth of 2 meters vertically below the water surface. Fresh water is on one side of the gate. If the gate is hinged at the bottom, compute the force normal to the gate at its vertex that will required to open it. Ayan, so ito na yung ginawa ko kanina na figure niya. Again, so from the liquid surface, okay, we have the vertex or yung top ng ating triangular gate is 2 meters. So first thing to do, compute muna natin yung hydrostatic force. So para magawa natin yun for inclined surfaces, first thing to do is we locate the center of gravity. So let's say ito yung kanyang center of gravity. So alam natin when it comes to triangles, kapag galing sa vertex, we have that as the 2/3 of the depth. So 2/3 ng 1.2 is equal to, we have 0.8 meter. Then from the base, it should be 1/3 of, and it is 1/3 ng depth. So that is 1/3 ng 1.2, that is equal to 0.4 meter. Pero, ayun, so di ba yung center of gravity na to, i-project lang natin. So this is, let's say, the center of gravity. And i-project natin dito sa kanyang side view. So let's say this is the center of gravity. So ang kailangan kasi natin dyan is yung vertical distance niya from the liquid surface. So wala namang nabanggit na may pressure sa liquid surface, so we assume the pressure to be 0. So, ayan. So vertically, from the liquid surface to the center of gravity, ito yung ating bar H or the H bar. So, kanina, nakuha natin yung inclined distance na to, that is 0.8. So, di ba, if we have this as 0.8, okay, 0.8 meter, yung inclination nito is the same as, yan, constant naman yung inclination niya, that is still 60 degrees. So, how to determine yung height na to? For our triangle, eto. Ayan naman ilalagay natin. Let's say this height is y. What function? Okay, so we can use the function of sine. So that is the sine of 60 degrees is equal to, okay, we have opposite is y divided by 0.8. So ano equivalent ng ating y? So y class is 0.8 ng sine 60 degrees. So that should be equal to and 0.693 meter. Yan, tama ba yan? So you have 0.693 meter. So therefore, anong equivalent tong ating bar H? So bar H is basically equal to yung 2 meters plus yung Y. We'll be having that as 2 plus 0.693 meter. That will give us 2.693 meters. So, ano yung purpose ng bar H natin or the H bar is for inclined surfaces, ay ganun pa rin yung pag-compute natin ng hydrostatic force. The gamma, H bar times the area. So we have the force is equal to gamma water. This is 9.81. Computed H bar natin is 2.693. Ano yung area ng ating triangular gate? Again, we have a base of 0.90 and a depth of 1.2. So triangle, That is 1/2 of 0.90, a depth of 1.2 meters. Ayan. So what will be the total hydrostatic force? Sige, compute natin. So that will be 9.81 multiplied by bar is natin 2.693. Hindi ko nilagay yung point. 2.693. Then 1/2. So 0.5 yun ng 0.5 yun ng 0.9 by 1.2 meters. So we'll be having the total hydrostatic force, lagay natin as 14.266. So hydrostatic force is equal to 14.266 kilonewtons. Tama ba? Yan, 14.266. Okay, so next, ano yung gagawin natin dyan is, di ba, from center of gravity, alam naman natin na hindi talaga dyan yung point of action ng total hydrostatic force. Yan, try nga natin ng ibang kulay. Let's say yellow. Yan, visible ba tong yellow? So, ang point of action of the total hydrostatic force, alam natin that it should be on the center of pressure. Parang hindi yata visible yung yellow. So we'll be just using magenta yata to. I will be just using this one. So we have, this is on the center of pressure. Lipat nga natin to. Again, so we have the center of gravity. So alam natin that we have this distance between these 2 points. Yung center of gravity and the center of pressure, we call this as the eccentricity. So alam natin that on the center of pressure, eto, dapat yun yung point of action of the total hydrostatic force. So paano tayo nagko-compute ng eccentricity? So for the eccentricity, we can have it inclined kasi to. That is the moment of inertia divided by area times the bar y. Pero kung wala pa tayong bar y, yung inclined distance, we can use yung formula natin na gamma I. Okay, ito yung unit weight ng liquid I, the moment of inertia of the gate, sine of theta divided by the force. So since meron na rin naman na tayong force. Ayan, so we substitute, this will be the eccentricity. Eccentricity natin is gamma water, since tubig daw ito, 9.81. Multiplied by, moment of inertia ng triangular gate, that is the BD cube. Base natin, 0.90. Depth niya is 1.2 BD cube divided by 36, since this is a triangular gate. Then sine, ano inclination ng gate? That is sine of 60 degrees. Divided by yung computed natin na force, that is 14.266. Yan, so 14.266. So let us compute for the eccentricity. So we have that as 9.81. Ayan, so we have 0.9 by 1.2. So this should be cube, triangular, so divided by 36. Multiplied by sine of 60 degrees. And then divided by the computed force, hydrostatic force, 14.266. So we have an eccentricity of 0.0, ano ulit yun? 26. 0.026 meter. Ayan, kung i-recall natin or i-ano natin dito, ilalagay natin sa figure. nandito yung ating center of pressure. Okay, at a distance, yan, at a distance E from the center of gravity. Ngayon, ang required kasi sa problem is ano daw yung force na i-apply natin doon sa vertex para mabuksan natin yung gate. So, let's say yung lower end is A, upper end is B. So, dito tayo mag-apply ng force. Sabihin natin, this is the force at B. So, ibig sabihin, kailangan nating makuha yung distance ng point of action of the force from A. Sabihin ko na lang, this is Z. Pero kung titingnan natin yung figure, di ba? So, kung galing dito sa ilalim, ito yung Z distance natin. So, ang equivalent niyan, kung titingnan natin dito sa figure, ito yung Z plus yung eccentricity is yun yung 1/3 of D kanina na 0.4. So, makuha na natin yung value ng Z. Ayun, the value of Z plus eccentricity na compute natin, 0.026 is equal to 0.4. So, this is our distance Z. And compute natin, we have that as 0.4 minus 0.026. So, 0.374. We have 0.374 meter. Ngayon, parang ihiwalay lang natin yan, then gawan natin siya ng free body diagram. So, ito yung incline gate natin. So, dito tayo sa upper end, mag-a-apply ng force at B. The total height of or depth ng ating gate is 1.2 meters. So, dito naman yung point of action. The point of action of the total hydrostatic force dito sa A. Ito yung B. At a distance, ayan, at a distance Z. So, pwede natin gawin is summation of moments at A is equal to 0, assuming clockwise moments to be positive. Again, yung force natin kanina dito is 14.266 kilonewtons. Okay, so I think we can now compute yung required. So, sino yung clockwise? We have that as the 14.266 kilonewtons times computed value ng Z. We have 0.374 meter minus F sub B natin. Ang distance niya is 1.2 meters equal to 0. So, this should be the F sub B. Compute natin. So, 0.374 times 14.266 and then divided by 1.2 equals to, we have that as 14.446 kilonewtons. Tama ba? So, we have 4.446 kilonewtons. Ngayon, kung titingnan natin yun sa choices, sa item number 5 natin, okay, so that will be letter B tayo. And that will be 4.45 kilonewtons. So, yun yung sagot natin or solution natin sa item number 5. Okay, so proceed tayo sa item number 6. A fireman has to put out a fire but it blocked by a firewall. To reach over the wall, he directed the water jet from the nozzle at an angle of 30 degrees with the horizontal. Determine the velocity of water in meters per second leaving the nozzle to reach over the wall if he stands 30 meters away from the wall and the wall is standing 2 meters higher than the nozzle of the hose. So, ito na yung figure na ginawa natin. So, basically, lumalabas ito sa board exam sa Hydraulics and Geotechnical Engineering. Pero, the problem is basically P6. Kumbaga, sa projectile lang siya. So, discussion natin ng regular review sa P6, this is case number 1. yung projectile natin babagsak sa mas mataas na elevation. So, okay, if we are to recall yung formula, that is yun yung y equal to x tangent of theta minus the gx squared. This is divided by twice initial velocity cosine of theta quantity squared. Again, kung yung projectile natin babagsak sa mas mataas na elevation, the value of y should be positive. So this is 2 is equal to yung range natin, that is 30 meters. We have a tangent of 30 degrees. Minus, we have the 9.81, given na range is 30 meters squared. This is divided by twice yung initial velocity na required, then we have cosine of 30 degrees quantity squared. So, gawin natin dito, shift solve lang to compute for the initial velocity. Okay, so we have y, that is 2 equals to x, we have 30. This is multiplied by tangent of 30 degrees minus the 9.81. So we have the range is 30 degrees, 30 meters squared divided by 2 times yan, alpha x, then cosine of 30 degrees quantity squared. Ayan, so we do shift solve. So we have that is as 19.6007. Pwedeng 19.601 meters per second. So ito yung sagot natin sa item number 6. So check natin sa choices. Okay, so that will be letter. Yan, letter C tayo for item number 6. Yan. So again, ito lang yung solution natin dito. Simply a projectile problem. P6 lang. Okay, so let's have the next item. Okay, so this is problem number 7. So from the figure as shown, I find the value of h. So kung makikita natin dito sa may left side, meron tayong oil with specific gravity of 0.82. Dito naman sa right side is basically water. Kumbaga parang ibabalance lang natin ito. O di ba parang ano ba yung equivalent pressure na kayang ibigay nung let's say the pressure of the oil na kayang i-balance nung pressure or nung weight nung tubig. So let's say this is the pressure of H2O. Okay, i-observe natin if this is 4 meters. Ayun, di ba? So this is 3 meters sa kabila. Ano lang yung effective height nung tubig? So yung effective height ng tubig dito sa kabila should be, that is simply 4 meters minus 3 meters. So therefore, this is only 1 meter kung ganon. So, i-balance lang natin siya. Yung pressure ng oil dito sa left side is equal to yung pressure ng tubig dito sa right side. So, paano yung pressure? Gamma H lang tayo. So, di ba parang gamma H is equal to, ayan, gamma H ng oil is equal to gamma H ng tubig. Ayan, we substitute. So, gamma is 9.81 or bago yan, specific gravity muna, we have 0.82 times the 9.81. Ano yung height ng oil? Yun yung H na unknown. Ito. So, should be equal to gamma water. That is 9.81. Again, effective height lang ng tubig. That is 4 meters minus 3 meters is simply 1 meter. So, we can now simply cancel yung 9.81. Okay, therefore, yung H natin is simply, that is 1 divided by 0.82. So, ano yan? Okay, so 1 divided by 0.82 is equal to, so that is 1.29195. So let's say we have 1.2195 meters. So do we have this one sa choices? Okay, so most likely, it is letter A. So, kung 2 decimal places, rounded to 1.22 meters. Okay, ganun lang si problem number 7. So, proceed tayo sa situational problem. This is problem 8 to 10. So, this is open channel. So, sabi dito, water is to flow in a rectangular flume at a rate of, yun yung ating Q. The Q is equal to 1.42 cubic meter per second. Then we have the hydraulic slope equal to 0.0028. The width is equal to twice the depth. Tapos we have a roughness coefficient equal to 0.017. So sinabi niya class, it is the base width is twice the depth. Kung naalala niyo ito, therefore this is an example ng most efficient rectangular section. Okay, ang hinahanap na una is compute the normal depth. So paano ba tayo nagko-compute nito? Okay, so this is again item number 8. Yung formula natin, we have Q is equal to area multiplied by yung velocity by Mannings. So paano ulit yung velocity by Mannings? This is 1 over n raised to 2 over 3. Then we have s raised to 1 half. So, konting recall, ano ulit yung area ng most efficient rectangular section? We have that as the B times D. Pero that is the same as 2D times D. Kaya meron tayong 2 times D squared. Okay, hydraulic radius is simply equal to the area divided by the wetted perimeter. Ang equivalent ng area natin, that is the 2D squared divided by wetted perimeter. So, meron tayong depth din sa kabila. It should be 4 times the depth. Again, most efficient section ito, kaya yung hydraulic radius niya is simply the D over 2. And we are now ready to substitute sa item number 8. Flow rate natin is 1.42 equal to, what is our area? We have that as 2 times the D squared multiplied by, we have 1 over roughness coefficient, we have 0.017. Hydraulic radius is simply the depth divided by 2 raised to 2 over 3. Then, slope natin is 0.0028. This is raised to 1 half. Ayan. So, shift solve tayo. So, ayan, we have 1.42 is equal to 2 times, the alpha x squared. Multiplied by 1 divided by roughness coefficient 0.017. Hydraulic radius is, ayan, we have alpha x divided by 2. Okay, this is raised to 2 over 3. Then we have the slope 0.0028. Tama ba? Slope 0.0028. Okay, then raised to 1 half. Okay, so we do shift solve. So the depth is, I computed depth is equal to 0.683 meters. Ayan, kung titingnan natin yung choices natin, this is item number 8. Yan, 0.683 will be letter C. Yun yung sagot natin. Item number 8. Excuse me. So, follow-up question number 9 is compute the fraud number. So, yung pag-compute ng fraud number, okay, so by formula na lang muna tayo. Applicable lang ito sa rectangular section. So, wag nyong gagamitin sa ibang section ng open channels. So, this is applicable for rectangular section only. Ito yung Froude number, f sub n is equal to, that is the velocity divided by the square root of acceleration due to gravity times the depth of flow. So, meron na ba tayong velocity? Ayan, wala pa. But we can have it using yung discharge. So, recall, discharge can be computed as area times velocity. So, yung area natin dito, the area is equal to the 2D squared. So, since meron naman na tayong depth. So, flow rate natin is equal to 1.42. Area is 2 times 0.683 squared, then the velocity. So, this will be because the velocity of flow. Ayan, so that will be 1.42 divided by 2 times 0.683 squared. Velocity of flow should be equal to 1.522 meters per second. So, lang yung kulang sa ating formula ng Froude number. Again, applicable for rectangular sections only. Velocity natin is 1.522. This is divided by the square root of g. We have 9.81. Okay, we have the depth of flow computed as 0.683 meter. So, this will be the Froude number equal to, and so velocity of 1.522 divided by the square root of 9.81 times depth of flow is 0.683. So we have the 0.588 kung 3 decimal places lang, 0.588. So do we have this one sa choices? And 0.588. Item number 9, okay, that is letter D. Okay, number 9, 0.588. Last question niya, we have item number 10. So sa number 10 is determine the type of flow. So kapag open channel ang usapan, ang applicable lang is the critical and super critical, subcritical. Yung laminar at saka turbulent, applicable yun sa pipes. So letter B should be subcritical. Okay, this is for item number 10. If the Froude number is less than 1, yan. If the Froude number is less than 1, ito yung critical. Then if the Froude number is exactly equal to 1, ito yung tinatawag natin na the critical flow. And if the Froude number is greater than 1, ito naman yung supercritical. So therefore, ano yung na-compute natin na Froude number natin? The Froude number is 0.588. Obviously, this is that's obviously less than 1. So, ang sagot natin sa number 10 should be, okay, Froude number is less than 1. Okay, the correct answer, class, for item number 10, it should be letter B. Okay? It is a subcritical flow. So, ito yung solution natin sa item. Okay, this is item 8 to 10.